What's going on YouTube today? We got a very in-depth tutorial today. Kind of lost my voice, so you're just gonna have to bear with me. So today, what we're doing is we're doing a mid fade with a elite scissor tutorial, shear work tutorial, whatever you want to call it. So first I just started by saturating the hair and then combing the hair in the way the hair wants to grow. And right now I'm sectioning from the crown to the top of the recession. As you can see, I've already did it. And I'm just kind of making sure it's both even, or it's even on both sides. The better the section, obviously, the easier it is and the less you have to go back and redo your work. And this is what it should look like. A little something like that. And now we are going to start trimming around this horseshoe section that we made. And the reason we're doing this is where our transition is going to be from our blend. So you can see I'm pulling out in little sections, so I'll take section by section, and I'm just pulling straight out to its natural growth. Its natural direction, where the hair wants to be going. You can see this hair right here, it wants to go this way, so pulling just straight out 90 degrees, no elevation or anything. We want a little more bulk on this haircut. I'm not rounding the corners in right here. I'm still just 90 degrees pulling it. And the reason we do this, like I said, it's going to help with our transition. It's going to make everything easier. Everything's going to blend a lot more seamlessly, less mistakes. On the more you get this this section right here, kind of perfect. So now we're just going to start that transition blend, just with clipper over comb. You can just see how I'm feeding up in the hair and just pulling my comb out and making sure that all the hair is cut. So I could do this with shears, but this is just more or less time consuming, so we're just gonna kind of go through with this, and we're gonna detail it later, obviously, with shears. So why not get this done as quick as we can. At the end of the day, I'm still in the shop. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to start at the crown, and we're going to go to the growth pattern in the front of the head and section that off. So wherever the hair wants to naturally split in the front, we're just going to follow that and split it right down the middle. And now we are going to comb both of these sides down, and we're going to pull out and do the exact same thing we did, just matching this to the bottom section that we have previously cut. And I know it kind of looks like I'm just kind of cutting right here, but I can kind of see and feel where I left off, and if I really needed to double check, I could just lift the hair up. But I'm still going in that still pulling out 90 degrees, not really elevating. But once I do get right by the ear, you can see that I'll start to angle this out a little more. Instead of just pulling straight out right here, you can see that I'm going to angle it out a little more. And I'm doing this because I want the fringe to lay a little longer, right? So if I wanted him to have like more of a shorter fringe, I would just pull it straight out and not kind of angle it, as you can see how I do here. Just kind of angling it out right here. And now we are going to connect the sides into the fringe. A lot of times I see people with their fringe a little too long, and so they don't really know what to do or how to connect that fringe and make it just blend seamlessly. So they'll kind of line up the corners. That was my dog, sorry about that. So you can see right here, we're just following that across the head, and we're just gonna point cut this because we don't want to blunt cut it, and we're not lining it up or anything. We want this to be more of a messy, natural look. And you can see how it's all starting to blend seamlessly into our scissor work that we did. And you guys can see how I'm just kind of holding the shear, and I'm point cutting at a diagonal. So here on top, I just kind of sped this up. So why we do this, the shear work the way we did, is because when I take these sections and I pull straight up, you're going to be able to see a short piece on the left side and a short piece on the right side. I know I didn't get it in the video too well, but that's how we're gonna know how much to cut. So that's how I know how much I cut. So no, I'm not guessing. I'm cutting because when we split it down the sides, or when we did our sectioning and split it down the head, it allowed for us to create a guide, and we're just following that guide down from the crown to the front of the head. So this is very important. You want to make sure that you really take your time when you're doing the shear work process. Yeah, you want to make sure you're really taking your time, because the more time you take on this, the easier your blend is going to transition into that bulk. And it's not, and I say bulk because, you know, it's not like we leave bulk on purpose. I mean, not on purpose, on accident, or like we intend to, but it's more so for the client's shape of head. It is a lot of reasons why we do have that bulk. So you guys can see how that just kind of blends very seamlessly, right? And now we got the 1.5 on, and in this tutorial, I'm just gonna be fading down instead of the usual how I kind of put guidelines in. I used to usually fade down, but just kind of for the YouTube video purposes, I would put guidelines in. But I figured this one I kind of switch it up and show you guys that I could do both, and that I think it's important and kind of nice knowing how to do both, just because, you know, when you want to fade down, you can you have more control of your fade. You have more control of your fade instead of just kind of putting in a guideline, and, you know, you either have to, you know, make it bigger or raise it or something. And with this, you know, you can kind of you know, tighten your blends, spread your blend, whatever you want to do. So yeah, that's why I like kind of fading down. I just feel like it's and I feel like it comes a little easier to me. No guidelines, so, you know, not any harsh lines you have to take out. But so right here we have the clipper closed, and we're just moving down the head. And guys, and I know it might seem intimidating at first, you know, fading down, but it's really not, man. All you do is, you know, open, close, just like you're knocking out a guideline, but you're just moving down the head little by little, right? So next we are putting in our ball line with our Gold FX, our low pros. And you can see I'm just being very light, very gentle. You know, I don't want to make any harsh guidelines or anything like that. So now that we got that set in, we are going to move to our 1 guard open. And guys, right where we did that 1.5, we're gonna go right under that. Still, you know, kind of flicking out, nothing too over exaggerating. You know, we want to make sure that all the hair is cut even in every section. So yeah, you can see right there, I'm kind of flicking, just trying to flick this into that 1.5. And then you know, guys, it's just all lever play. You know, it's the same thing every time. Open, halfway close. You know, if you got to detail something out, you know, open your lever. Like right here, I'm using my corners because, you know, the 1.5 probably couldn't get what I was trying to, you know, get out. And you can see how now I'm just kind of closing the clipper little by little. So guys, yeah, if you're ever stuck, you know, and 1 guard's not taking something out, drop the guard and start with the lever open, and see how that works for you, and close that little by little. You know, it'll eventually come out. And now we are completely closed, and we are just right above that, you know, guideline, and just, you know, softening that bottom line up. And you guys can see how I'm not making any lines or anything with when I'm going down with these guards. You can see how everything's kind of just blending a lot easier, I guess. So now, yeah, we're open with the half guard, and we're going right under where that one is, flicking. And if you see me how it looks like I'm going pretty up into that 1.5, and guys, it's because I'm very light. I'm very lightly just kind of floating off the head. And now we are completely closed. Like I said, open, halfway closed, and we are almost making a guideline for our open lever section. And then we're going to fade that out right there. You can see that kind of shadow right there that we made with that, and we're just going to blend that in. Just using our corners. You really want to use your corners when you're like at a very short guard like this, especially when you're up into that like 1.5 area. Just because you don't want to create any lines that you don't want to create. And now we are going to be switching over to the Babyliss boosted, and I like to use these because they are zero gapped. So what zero gap is essentially is that the blades are a little bit closer. Oh, sorry, that's my dog again. And all we're doing is going close to open, just trying to knock that bottom line out. Being very light as well. That's very key, guys, is being light with your clipper. You just let the clipper do the work. You don't need to dig or anything too hard, otherwise you're just going to create another line. But you guys can see how that blend is just starting to pop right now. And I'm just detailing some spots out that I see, just using my corners. And I really stress corner work. It's just a lot more beneficial than trying to put the whole flat blade on there and accidentally put something in that I didn't want, and make more time that I have to do that again, or redo that section, or move the fade up. So, and what we're going to be doing next is the style process. I guess I forgot to record the lineup, but it was just the C cups, so that's not really anything that needs to be too in depth, I guess. But first we're going to start by saturating the hair, and then we're going to use some texture sea salt spray. You want to make sure you guys get this at the root and thoroughly through the head. And then we're going to be using some matte putty, and we're going to be working this in again at the roots. As you can see, I'm kind of just trying to get it all spread through evenly through his hair. And I found that this is the best styling process just for me. I think that it really creates the texture look a lot better than just putting the powder in by itself, or just a clay by itself. So we're just blow drying it until it was all the way dry. And once it was all the way dry through, we're going to throw the diffuser on. And you can see how I'm just doing this scrunching motion right here, and you guys can see how that texture is starting to pop. It went from literally straight to wavy curly hair. And I'm just right here, I'm just kind of doing some final texture pieces right here. You can see I'm just kind of pinching and turning and scrunching at the same time, just trying to get this fade and style to pop how I want. And let me know if you guys want me to go more in depth on how I fade and why I'm doing what I'm doing. But hope you guys like the cut. Came out pretty clean. Let me know in the comments. Just make sure you like, subscribe, share. And yeah, man, I'm out.